You want to be a millionaire, but Uncle Sam makes it so difficult with short-term gains capital taxes that could be almost 40% if you hold assets for less than a year, and long-term capital gains taxes that could be 20% if you hold assets for longer than a year. And let's not forget about state taxes. It makes it a lot harder to reach that millionaire status if every time we make a trade, make a great profit, we are giving a large portion of this away, of our pure profits back to the government, at least in the United States. But there is a very simple way in the United States to become a tax-free millionaire. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways in this video. As usual though, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor.
Knowledge.
So we need to start with some basic assumptions for this video. Let's assume you're starting with $0. You got nothing invested, nothing, nada. We're just going to assume each year you get a 7% non-inflation adjusted return through the stock market, which is typical for the S&P 500, and that's the historical average, so this is safe to assume. And we are going to make our goal $1 million inflation adjusted for the future. So we're going to use the 7% return for the inflation adjusted return for $1 million. And we're going to do the typical 30 years till retirement. So for me, this allowed me to retire at 59. I'm 29 years old right now. If you don't have as much time, you can always use this calculator, the compound interest calculator, to make the adjustments for yourself to see how aggressive you need to be. So first, we need to really figure out, if we're starting at zero, how much do we need to contribute to be a millionaire? How much capital do we need in 30 years to get that millionaire status? Luckily for you, I already did the calculations. So if we were starting with $0 with a 7% interest rate for 30 years, and let's say we deposited monthly $815 at the beginning, that's how much you would need for a millionaire status in 30 years. So you need $815 at the beginning of every month for 30 years with a 7% return. This is $9,780 per year stuffed away in the S&P 500, assuming continued historical returns. Now the question is, how do we make $815 tax-free every month? How do we build up $1 million portfolio without ever paying taxes on it? That's the major question. If we sell something in our portfolio, we give something back to Uncle Sam, and he comes in and takes our profits. Look at this compound interest calculator, guys. We have over $700,000 in interest earned, $700,000 in appreciation. And now imagine paying long-term capital gains tax on this. Let's assume like you're in the 15% category, okay? So that'd say if you're married filing jointly, you're making under $276,000, right? You would pay 15% of this, and that'd be a huge chunk. What's 15% of $706,000? You'd be giving over $100,000 back to Uncle Sam in this 15% category for long-term capital gains tax. And it's still the same. I was looking at 2023, but here's 2024, and you can look for yourself. Now, I'm assuming you're like me and you don't want to give over $100,000 back to Uncle Sam. We want to keep our money and grow it tax-free. So let's go over these steps to figure out how to do that. So what is the first thing you should really look at? The first thing is a Roth IRA. Now, I'm assuming most of you know what a Roth IRA is, and this isn't that surprising. It's a retirement account you can contribute after-tax dollars into so you don't get taxed when you withdraw them after you are 59 and a half. This is a great option because you don't owe any taxes, assuming you meet these requirements of you had it more than 5 years and you're over 59 and a half. That's really about all the requirements. And it's a much better option compared to the traditional IRA, which you pay taxes on later. But that's a whole nother video. In my personal opinion, the Roth IRA is a much better option, assuming you are within the income limits and you can actually use one. I have the table on the screen for you guys if you want to look, if you can open a Roth IRA. And here's for 2024. If you're single and make under $146,000, you can contribute $7,000. If you make more, you can do $6,000. You can see with the table, the more you make, the less you can contribute in your Roth IRA, which is unfortunate. But I'm assuming most of us are going to be able to contribute that full amount in this video. If not, look into a backdoor Roth IRA. But again, that's a whole nother video. So what is the real problem with the Roth IRA, assuming you're within these income limits on screen right here? In most cases, the maximum amount you're going to be able to contribute is $7,000 unless you over 50. So that means if we need to donate $9,780 per year to the stock market, we still need another $2,780 to meet our goal, because we want to meet our total investing goal of the year for $9,780, or we won't make the millionaire status, which we see on screen right here. If we still do monthly contributions with $7,000, let's see how much that would be. So 7,000 divided by 12, that'd be $583 per month. Let's see what that'd be in the calculator. 583.333 So it would get us close. It would get us almost 3/4 of the way at $715,000. But we're still a little bit a ways from millionaire status with our inflation-adjusted return using the S&P 500. I mean, this is great portfolio, but not millionaire status. Definitely not. So we need to explore what other accounts are at our fingertips to put away the extra $2,780 you will need per year. Then let's start with the most practical, in my opinion, then to the least practical. And this is going to be very different depending on your circumstances. So the first one, assuming you are employed, you'll need to check out your work's 401k. Now this one will depend on your work. Some allow a Roth 401k, meaning after-tax dollars, so it grows tax-free. And some work accounts allow a standard 401k, which is pre-tax dollars, so you pay taxes later. I'm lucky, my current work has a Roth 401k option, but I know many of you will not have this option. The main point is most works offer a 401k, and this is the really important part. They have a match of typically 3 to 6% on 401k contributions. So let's imagine you have a friend that is actually a financial advisor, so not me, but he makes $50K a year. If he contributes 3% to his 401k every year, and his work matches the 3%, that would be a lot of money. That's 100% gain right there just because of the match. 3% of $50,000 would be $1,500 per year, and the work would match $1,500 per year, giving you $3K into the stock market right there. Now, if your work matches more, you probably want to contribute at least the match, in my opinion, but this is just an example. So for our financial advisor friend, put in $1,500 into his 401k, his employer matched $1,500, and he put $7,000 into his Roth, he's at a $10,000 per year in tax advantage accounts. This is easily allowing him to be a millionaire within 30 years, assuming he stays at that job. Really easy peasy, honestly. Roth IRA, 401k match, good stuff. And this is what someone making $50K per year, but I understand the $7K might not be realistic in the Roth, but this is an example. But let's examine real life. Sometimes we don't stay at the job. Sometimes we get laid off. Sometimes the company we work for doesn't actually have a 401k plan or a match. Sometimes we want different life opportunities, like starting a business. What are our options then? So let's say we did want to start a business. And I'm not talking about a huge business or anything huge. This could just be a small side hustle that brings us some extra income per year. The question is, can you put this extra money, this extra side hustle income, away in a tax advantage account if it's not coming through a 401k? And the answer is, yes, you can. If you have an LLC, a business entity, and even if you're the only employee/owner, which I am for this YouTube channel, my LLC, you can put that money in what is called a solo Roth 401k. Basically, it's a Roth IRA, but for your business. And the great thing is you can contribute as an employee since you work for your business, but also you can contribute as the owner since you own your LLC. This means you can contribute up to $69,000 per year. I know that's not a joke. I'm on Schwab right now, individual 401k. If we scroll down right here, your combined annual contributions cannot exceed $69,000 for 2024 because you can contribute as the employee and the employer. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not even a financial advisor. It's literally a channel name. I literally have no qualifications. I'm a therapist in real life. So if you're going to open one of these accounts, do your own research, learn how to do LLC, learn how to do this stuff. This is just a YouTube video after all. But the question is, what is keeping you from making an LLC, making a solo Roth 401k, allowing you to put away a ton of money in this, and just trying to make a couple extra bucks every weekend, and then tucking it into that money in the retirement account? It'd be super simple. But you got to remember to account for taxes and all this stuff before you put away in the Roth IRA. But you'd only need to put $2,780 per year, assuming you're maxing out your own Roth IRA. You'd need that $2,780 into the Roth 401k to be a millionaire. You don't have to make that much extra side money in your business or side gig to fulfill your millionaire status if you're already maxing out your Roth IRA. You can have one of these accounts and put your money in that. You could easily make that money mowing lawns or finding some contractual work. It's super simple. But let's say, John, I'm not the entrepreneurial spirit. I don't want to do that. What other options do I have? Are you getting married? Getting married soon? Do you want to get married? Don't forget that your spouses can also have an account. Now, from my understanding, you can't open a joint Roth IRA, but you can each have your own Roth IRA account. We're on Investopedia because IRS rules do not allow you to open a Roth IRA jointly with a spouse. You would each have to open your own Roth IRA to take advantage of the tax benefits. So what does this mean? If you both max it out, $7,000 each, that's $14K per year without any business complications. Just your marriage complications. And let's say in your marriage you make too much and you're over the income contribution limits, which can happen. You can always take a look into the backdoor Roth IRA that we talked about earlier, but I'm not going to go into that into this video. Now you may say, John, that is my spouse's account. It's not mine. Wow. Yes, that's true. I thought in marriage you were supposed to be a team and share most of all your money. And if you don't feel that you can trust your spouse with that, all I have to say is good luck with your marriage. So that's for you guys to figure out. So what are the easiest options to reaching the monthly contribution of at least $815 per month, $9,280 total per year? Utilize your Roth. You can utilize your employer's 401k in a match. If you don't want to do that, you can start an LLC and put that money into a solo Roth 401k, or just get married and have 2 Roth IRAs. One with you and one with your spouse. Easy peasy. Now we could also talk about health savings accounts, HSAs, but I'll just be honest, I'll be frank. I don't know the details of these accounts yet. I haven't done a deep dive yet, so I don't really want to speak on them, but it may be something you want to look into for yourself. So can you retire as a tax-free millionaire? Yes, you can. I mean, with all the accounts at your disposal we mentioned in this video, without doing anything crazy, besides maybe getting married and purchasing a standard S&P 500 fund, assuming it continues to grow over the next 30 years, it'll be really simple, but you'll have to utilize a couple different strategies if you want to make it there. If you don't believe me that you can really retire a millionaire just utilizing the S&P 500, you really need to watch this video right here. Peace.